In today's video, we're going to start putting together our final drawing composition. This is where we bring together all the different tangle patterns that we've learned over the last several days, and we assemble them together into our drawing, our science fiction alien scene that I've been talking about. So let's get started. I've chosen to use two standard Zentangle 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch tiles for the drawing. There are several reasons for this. It's just easier to work with half at a time for purposes of recording, but it also keeps the size of our drawing in a more restricted sense so it doesn't take us forever to do. However, you can freely draw this same drawing on any size of paper. You would just adjust the size of your characters and your tangles and patterns to fill the sheet accordingly. But for us, we're going to be doing it this way. But we do have a little bit of prep. So I want to take these two tiles and just hold them together. And we're going to find the halfway point of this dimension here. And we're going to go a little bit above that. A little bit to the left, if you will, of that halfway point. We're going to just create a line here. And we'll just continue that across. Or if you're using a single sheet of paper, you would, of course, just draw that across. We want that to be our horizon line. And so we're going to reference that later and we'll need that. But let's just set one half aside, or again, if you're on a full sheet of paper, just focus on the right-hand side of this paper. And below our horizon line, I'll zoom in a little bit here for us. Below that horizon line, we want to draw a gentle curve, about like so. And just let's create a little bit of a circle here at an angle, or an oval I should say, and that's going to be part of our reference for where we're going to place some of these other components of our drawing. Alright, so now that we have that, let's begin to add these tangles. The first one we're going to add is the squigs. We're going to start here a little bit to the right side of this circle or oval that we've drawn, and we're going to draw a squig just coming right on out of there like that. And now we'll draw another one. And let's draw third one. And that one is going to extend way over like that. We won't want to draw the end of it yet. That will actually go across on the other sheet of paper. And one last one is going to kind of come up here. Like that. Alright, now let's grab our other sheet, or if you've got your full sheet, we want to just line those up. And let's just finish drawing this one squig coming out here. Just like that. Alright. Now, let's draw our curved lines like this tangle that we learned. So if you need to reference what we did with this tangle, you can go back to the previous day's videos. It's very simple though to follow along with this. And we just want to do the same thing here. There's probably a little bit easier way to do this, but since there's not going to be a lot of overlap in this drawing, it's just easy to do it this way as we go. Alright, and you know the drill here with squigs. We want to create some texture and visual interest by inking in every other section, leaving a little white space in the center. And you can use a solid inking process, or you can use, kind of like I'm doing, a loose set of lines that are filling that in to create a sense of texture. Totally up to you. However you want your little alien creatures to look. These, as if you haven't guessed already, this is like a little set of alien or creature arms coming up out of the ground there in the hole that we created with our pencil. We're going to fill that in later with some additional details. All right, let's just keep going on this. So now let's move to our next tangle. We're going to draw some of our tunnel vision tangles that are going to sort of encircle the back part, or this side, of our pit. So we're going to just create, if you remember how we did those. And you can tuck them in behind one another however you'd like. Don't worry if your lines don't perfectly match. That will get hidden very easily as we do our additional drawing. And let's also draw a couple of our little escaped tunnel visions that we did with our little eye popping out here. Alright, now once we've done that, we need to create those little eye portions on the tunnel vision here, and the little rings that give it that impression of shape. And you can vary these little eye portions like we did in our original tangle, kind of vary where they go or what direction they're facing, if you want to think of it that way. Makes them seem a little more interesting, of course, but also a little more like actually some kind of an alien life form or alien plant or whatever it is that you're thinking of as you draw your drawing. And we will be adding some little details that aren't strictly Zentangle because we wanted to create a Zentangle inspired piece of art, but that doesn't mean that it's limited only to Zentangle patterns. So we're going to be adding some fun little details as we go through our drawing composition here. Now we're going to add some Rixty. The Rixty tangle that we drew in previous days. So we're just going to bring some of those. They're going to be growing right up here by these tunnel vision pods. We're just trying to create a scene here with some silly little alien looking tangles that might indicate where this creature in the pit lives on this interesting little planet. So have fun with the placement. And you just create as many or as few as you'd like to capture the scene that you want to have. So now let's also do some additional details on this drawing that will just kind of bring it to life a little better. So first we want to, where we have our pencil line, we want to create an uneven or squiggly line that goes across there to indicate some sort of horizon or sand or soil or whatever that might be. And the same kind of thing here with our pit area. We want to create some kind of a dimension there, or dimension, excuse me, a line that is going to be able to give us the 3D effect here in just a moment. You'll see once we fill all that in. And I'm even going to create kind of an aura that follows that a bit around so that when I ink in, there will remain a tiny white line there too that can help separate that from the rest of our background. And now let's add some little dots. We're going to just add dots that will give the impression of some sand or soil here, and also some texturing. Don't have to fill in the whole drawing, of course. We just want to create a little bit of visual interest and texture so that this ground isn't just flat. The ground where these little things live. And we'll do some in the background here as well. Just a little bit of texture there. Now, if you have a bigger pen for inking things in, I would recommend grabbing that, and we're going to ink in the black here in this pit. You can use any of your size pens, of course, but it'll just take that much longer if you're using a little fine tip. I'm using actually a brush pen, so I can lay down ink a little more quickly that way. We're going to be adding more details here to this drawing as well as our other side, but that really is it for today. So we've got part one. Our right-hand side of this alien drawing is completed, and we're going to do all the shading and everything at the final end of the drawing once all the drawing patterns are in place.